Hey guys. What I need is a shower. And I keep getting party in the USA. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back and do Taurus Virgo, but we're gonna take a quick break and read on current energies, August. What I wanted to do was take a shower because I just cleaned. So stuff's kind of everywhere. I did, you notice my clutter is gone? I did that. I put all my cards on a shelf with my plant to get some sun. So I told myself not to do it, and then I did it. But I want to try to catch some different energy. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice to go through my decks like that too. See, and all my little stones have a place. Although I still have a shit ton of stones. Let me just I mixed my greens and the mushrooms. Not the most fantastic taste. I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to use my crystal deck. And then, which deck did I pick up? And I was like, oh, you're colorful. I think it was this one. Yeah, let's do that one. I almost want to do my runes too. Hands up, play the song, DJ. All right, so let's do this. We're going to jump right into it. Let me just get rid of this because this is not something I want to spill. All right, child? You all good? Nothing. All right. Where's my ball? Huh? Yeah, you mopped it over. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see what we get. And again, I am going to come back and finish Virgo Capricorn, there's just something about Mary. All right. It is what, Monday, Tuesday? What day is it? Tuesday? Let's do the first 2 weeks of August, only because I believe like the energy is shifting. Well, I know it is, but I mean like I'm going to take a couple more days to shift into other energy. It might just be something where you need to get back into what it is you like to do. It's going to be a subtle shift. It's going to be a least expected shift. So first half of August. Perspective. None of it matters. Zoom out, common ground. That's telling me there's going to be a nice perspective shift coming in, whether it's yours, theirs. It's going to be a mutual perspective shift because none of this matters, which is telling me that's completely on the outside. Because it's like zoom out and find common ground. So it's almost like needing to work on something, or you are about to work on something. It takes two to make a thing go right. So there's a nice shift. And then I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Phew. Something's going to kick in there. I'm not quite sure. I know when you remember. I'm going to read, because so this is up to you. Not everybody knows the difference between fate and destiny. And a lot of people think it's the same thing. It is not. So I just... You're probably going to find yourself at a crossroads. Okay, the destiny life is one that our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it's because you're likely now face to face with a choice to follow your destiny life over your fated life. Trust the plan your soul is calling you towards, and remember at that moment that this was prearranged and in your life's lifeline. Okay. You are going to be called to make a decision, to lay out your plan, typically roads less traveled. Okay, it could be a change in your career, a new relationship, just a difficult decision that requires courage and faith. To remember your soul's greater plan. So you're definitely going to be confronted. And it's normal to doubt the rear, its head, the fact a certain sign you're facing is your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or own journey comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around through it is to think of a bigger plan. So you're going to be being called to do something. You might have to surrender, which is kind of like the perspective shift is like a hangman. But this is something that you are already destined to do. Obviously, you can change destiny, because it's fate. Whatever you end up deciding, every decision has a consequence, right? So in the world of free will, therefore, these moments come to our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is one that we were born into. The destined life is one your soul chooses, which typically takes courage and faith. Okay? So it's almost like someone is going to need to step out of conditioning. Whatever this is coming in is definitely a long-term situation. So let's just pull around these two cards right now. And then I got baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So follow your intuition before it makes sense. So meaning like there's definitely an overthinker. I wouldn't say this would be an impulsive decision, but it's going to be a nice impulsive shift of energy, which is nice. And this party in the USA keeps coming in. So something, life purpose, new beginnings, something beautiful is about to shift, which is nice that is coming in the next couple weeks. With none of this matters and zoom out, there's definitely clarity coming in. So you got to heal from something that went down. Heart healing, you might need to open up your heart chakra again after it was hurt. What's this common ground? It's like, yep, you got hurt. Move on. Work through it. So some is still lingering in the pain, and then common ground is peace. Okay, so making peace with a situation. Past life is at the bottom of the deck. Could be a past life relationship. Could just be past life. I just heard there's past life interference. But this is almost like forgiving with the heart healing, working on your heart chakra, or there's a compromise here, but you got to find common ground, because there is a sacrifice coming in, and it could be a sacrifice on your end, their end. I think what Spirit's trying to tell me is that somebody felt like it was more of a sacrifice on their end, but what they didn't realize is how huge the sacrifice was on your end. So you could be dealing with somebody that was in their ego, or they just didn't look at like how this was, what you guys went through was hard on you in a way. It has to be something like that, because again, Spirit's saying, because this is two, whether it's a friend, a past, your current scenario is two people, family, whatever it is, right? Basically, somebody else thought like their sacrifice was more important than your sacrifice. Like they were sacrificing more than you. And what Spirit's telling me, like if this person sat back and realized you were sacrificing more than this person even looks at it, and there's some type of sacrifice here that's it's more on your end. So I don't think you two are battling who sacrifices more, because that's just freaking silliness. I think Spirit's just trying to say you were dealing with somebody who had to make certain sacrifices to get to where they need to be, possibly with you. But what they didn't understand is that you're actually sacrificing a lot more. And I don't know if they were naive to it. I don't know if they're waking up to it. It's very bizarre how that very bizarre on how that works out. What? Sorry, I got sidetracked. Very bizarre on how that works out. My mom just texted me. Very bizarre on how that works out. So it sounds like my spirituals are making more of a sacrifice, but the person you were dealing with just does not see it that way or feel that way. Again, I don't think this is a tit for tat situation, because this is healing from whatever went down, and finding peace and common ground between you and somebody else. Do you remember? So you're going to remember, something's going to click. It's going to be a nice shift of energy that's coming in. I just heard maybe around the 7th, 11th, 3, 4, 7, or 11. Inner child and purification. That feels like some type of rejuvenation. Protection. What's in between the two of these? Relationship healing. So at the bottom of the deck, new beginnings. That's why I cut the deck too. You are healing some type of relationship with somebody. A friendship, an ex, somebody you're talking to, somebody you're dating. Something here is definitely protected, is crowning it. So this is destiny. This is you coming together with whomever is in your life next is destined. And not everything goes great and not everything goes wrong. Okay. I feel like you already know this energy because you have or you might not. Yeah, no, you do. Well, maybe not, guys, because it's more about working on your heart chakra, working on it's almost like the message from my spirituals at the very end of the Scorpio read with the courage and the kindness, right? So you are healing a relationship between you, an ex, a family member. This is destined. You have past life. This is protected. I feel like the woman needs to have more patience here than the man. And if it's same sex, it's the one that's more in the feminine energy, but is using the masculine energy. Because if there was some type of shit show, you're going to get the masculine energy before you get the feminine energy. But that needs to shift too. It's almost like a clean slate with purification and inner child. It's almost rejuvenating. It's refreshing. Yeah, there's something with past life, but there's definitely a new beginning here. There's flexibility underneath that. This crowning perspective. There's some type of common ground that you guys have to come in. Yeah, lovers. So this is somebody either brand new. Again, it's a soul connection. It's protected. You got communication coming in. I don't think you're going to be too happy with something. You might have to have an argument or time alone. There's something where it's like, okay, have the communication, and then things are gonna shift. You are gonna have to find some type of it's like finding a common ground. This is whatever this is destined. I feel like you know what this is regarding. I feel like there's been energy of this read that's been lingering for way too long. And this is matching the same type of stone where that was with the patience that was coming out earlier in the Scorpio read, with the just kind of like with all the karmic situation going down. I just I think this is going to be tough for you. But there's something as I don't think it's going to be as tough as you think it is, because this energy shift comes in, and it's like a random energy shift. And I know exactly what it's saying. It's just like, it's random. It's all of a sudden. Can't believe you did it. Can't believe you talked to somebody. Can't believe you met up with somebody. It's one of those that happens to me every once in a while. And it typically happens in connections like this as well. Something that's protected. Like, you can get in a massive fight, and then like a day later, it's like fiending to see each other, or it's just like random where it's like you didn't even expect to like go by, stop by, reach out. This is how this is going to go down. I think for the other person though, for you, this is going to come with frustration is what I'm hearing. But try to stay open-minded. So this type of, whatever this communication is, it's gonna look at that aquamarine came in earlier too. It's gonna shift something. Let's get one more and then I'll clarify. I want one more on because you're healing something with a lover. So this is someone you know, whether this is forgiveness and you're moving forward. It doesn't mean you're meant to be lovers again. It could be you're meant to be friends, you're meant to be business partners, or you are meant to have a partnership, right? It's just, I just saw the Seven of Wands as if it was like a wall, protective, a blockage, a barrier, a block. So you might be willing to, yeah, see, I keep hearing like, this isn't going to be an Andrew. This isn't an Andrew, as if it was going to be angry. This isn't going to be an easy transition for my spirituals. It might be a pleasant surprise, but it's not going to be an easy transition for you. I don't know what you went through with this particular person, or who this particular person is, whether it's an ex, a friend, an ex-friend, a family member. I mean, honestly, it could be a family member from a past life, guys. I mean, it could be a family member in this lifetime. In a past life, it was a lover. I know that sounds crazy, corrupt, and morbid, but it's shit like that. It works like that. That's why in this lifetime you have such a tough connection. You know, it's obviously something extremely karmic for the two of you to figure out. Right. So that does not mean you'll be lovers in this lifetime. Get what I'm saying? It was just for you guys to have that type of turmoil to clear karma, because this is clearing karma. You're clearing karma. It looks more of like an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend type scenario, though. So whatever's on the outside, whatever's happening around you and this other energy is obviously clearly needs to be discussed honestly. But besides that, this communication, this talk, whatever this is that's coming in, and I just heard like, yeah, it's like you're not even waiting for that talk, or you didn't even think the talk was gonna come, or just you don't care about the talk anymore. So yeah, this is going to be tough for my spirituals because there's probably a lot more hurt or frustration than this person realizes or you realize. And I heard Leo. So Leo sees, yeah, well, it's the first 2 weeks, right? So this is coming in the 3rd, the 4th, 7th, 11th as significant dates. And it doesn't mean communication with this person on those particular dates. It's just those particular 4 dates for this time period, the first 2 weeks. And I want one more card, but I'm trying to figure out for what. I guess just one more card. Courage wanted to pop out. I guess one more card for this side. This probably is exhausting. Gratitude, being grateful. Tell me about being grateful. Past life. Dreams. Okay. So you can't escape this past life thing. I mean, be grateful. There's a big lesson that was learned here, guys. Like I said, you're clearing karma. It looks like it can work out. It's meant for you to find a common grounds. It's meant for you to make peace. What you do with it afterwards, is on you. But you do have the Magician and the Hermit. Someone could be coming out of Hermit mode with it being reversed and all, but you're both starting at a 0 to fix what needs fixing. So whatever it is going to be a mutual feeling. It's going to be a mutual feeling. It's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a mirroring feeling. So it's almost like you both have the same end game or the outcome or the same goals or life desire or life plan is what I heard. So it's like you both have the same life plan, but it's in the same end goal. But I don't think you ever talked about it. It was just an inner knowing. But that inner knowing doesn't cut it in the real world between two people that should be communicating, if that makes sense. This patience, tell me about patience. I feel like it's more of the feminine energy. Definitely something's going to take time here. 7 of Swords. Yeah, so you might even like with the Empress. So if this has anything to do with the Scorpio read or something from the past, like I said, like who cares type thing, Spirit's like, okay, like have patience with this. But see, even me, I'm like, why would I want to have patience with that? Or this could be saying that the feminine energy, my spiritual, is you're the Empress, and you, which I think is what it's saying, because they're not trying to piss you off or frustrate you in this read, because this is supposed to be healing. So to me, you're the Empress, and you could easily sabotage this. And it's ironic because I said I saw the 7 of Wands as if like you blocked it or want to block it. But you could sabotage something that's meant to be. But I don't want to say it like that because you're dealing with a lot of frustration and bullshit from this person on this person's end. It's almost getting dragged, like the weight is on you, and that's not cool. That's not kosher. So really, that's the way you feel. That energy might shift. Yeah, you're the Empress, Queen of Cups, but something's going to go in your favor. Very victorious energy here, right? Like it's something pans out because it's meant to be. They're also telling me you were probably dealing with somebody who, like I said, the both of you knew something was kind of meant to be, and you have the same end game, the same future, the same outlook, but it was an inner knowing and it was never discussed, maybe off and on. So I feel like it's almost like I feel like you don't even want it to work. You don't even want to deal with it. Like it's frustrating for you. It's so funny because at the end of Scorpio, I literally, when I did a spiritual read for you guys, I'm like, when this energy comes in, it's going to come out on the board and we'll have to talk about it. Fucking bam, here it is out on the board. Time to talk about it. That's why I felt more needed to do this before I jumped into Taurus. And in the Scorpio read, that aquamarine came through strong. So you got this communication coming in. So it's almost like Spirit's giving you a little bit of a heads up, but that heads up doesn't it doesn't really shift things for you. I know it doesn't. Is destined. You can fight destiny and say, you know what, fuck it. But it kind of would be a sabotage on your end. So you've obviously given this energy the benefit of the doubt, because probably more than enough, or we wouldn't have the Seven of Swords there. Because no way, no how, no fucking way would you look at it as like you're sabotaging something. It's like, no, you were probably dealing with an energy that consistently sabotaged. But it's literally telling you to kind of like, it's going to pay off and to have patience. And it's protected, but like, if something doesn't like suffice, if there's not action, if there's not something, I know you won't do it. I have Spirit's giving me that strong feeling. I know exactly what's happening here. To a fucking T, I know what's happening here. And it's not you having your wall up, this and that. It's just like, you just want to say no fucking way. Like, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way. And so I don't know if you just need to make peace with this situation. Again, it doesn't mean you guys will end up together. Some of you might. It's destined for you to do big things, go places, So I didn't think this read was going to come in this quick, guys, like that. If you haven't watched Scorpio and you're randomly watching, somebody new must have just joined. Welcome, because I just heard welcome. In the Scorpio read I just did, if you go to the 2:15 mark at that very end of the read where it starts with Party in the USA, that's what kind of like this is regarding. You might want to watch all of Scorpio. You probably won't be too happy with it, but it is a new beginning and it's going to require courage and forgiveness and understanding and compassion and kindness. And it's all those things all those qualities that you have, but to you, you're gonna look at it like that's a fucking waste of time. It's a given. So I'm telling you, like, there's going to have to be a massive turnaround. You're gonna see a massive turnaround. It's just the energy is gonna shift for both of you. I think it's gonna be very sudden on that. Whoever's end is coming towards you. Guys, I mean, I got a ring right here. This might be your future partner, your future wife, your future husband, or even if you don't ever get married, it's a commitment, it's a promise, it's something. But what you're getting right now is, I put the ring down because the aquamarine that came in the Scorpio reading, like I said. Okay. And right now, this is like the communication. Spirit wants you to heal a situation that I don't think you really want to heal. I'm not gonna sugarcoat what this is by any means. And it's coming in, so I don't know how you're gonna handle it. I feel like this is a situation where the entire shift of energy that comes out on my board here on out is with my reads, not including Taurus and Virgo, is going to be. I just heard like magnitude. It's just it's different. There's a shift, and you're ready. They're ready, but I mean, yeah, guys, I know exactly what this is for you guys. You guys know what this is. It's just how many waves do you have to ride out before you both can get on the same surfboard and ride it together? You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a little different for everybody, but for a majority of you, of the collective, like this is the first wave. It might take 7 waves. You ask me, you're done riding the fucking waves. So they don't get 7 waves. They already had 7 fucking waves. Like how many times you're gonna ride the wave, or how many times you're gonna wave goodbye? Or, you see what I'm saying? Like it's just ridiculous. Just at the end of the day, guys, Spirit just wants to remind you that have patience with this energy, because this is all about patience. The woman here needs to have patience. Something is going to work out in your favor, and you could just be like at the point where you don't care whether something goes in your favor or not. See what I'm saying? But this is telling me happy wife, happy life. How's that go? Happy life, happy wife, happy life. So something's going to pan out in the future. So this is definitely some type of commitment coming in that needs to be balanced and worked on. This is not karmic. I think the person you're dealing with is in the midst of a karmic ending, and this beginning is almost like your dharma, but you don't see it because of all the shit you've been dealing with. So obviously there has to be a random get together. This person is making sacrifices. There's no way that this would come back in and these messages would come like this if it wasn't meant to work on. Tell me about relationship healing. The Knight of Pentacles. So somebody's going to come in and try to ground a situation, wants to heal a situation. It is the Knight of Pentacles, guys. It is a slower moving energy. It is the slowest knight in the deck, but it's also a reliable energy. Typically loyal, and they want a new start. Okay. So this energy is going to come in, but again, I can't stress enough, this is going to take time. This energy needs time, or you need time. I almost feel like as much as you think this energy needs time, Spirit's almost telling me like you need time for what you went through, because I don't think this person really understands what you experienced, because it was probably all about them. I'm not going to sugarcoat this once again, and Spirit does not want me to. But people do change, situations do change. And guys, this could be a work proposal for all I know. This could be all of a sudden you're at your job and you haven't seen or heard from this face in 7 or 8 fucking years, and next thing you know is somebody you have to work with, and that's gonna stir up everything that went down 7 or 8 years ago. Get what I'm saying? You know this energy. It could be your current past lover, or it could be, your lover from fucking 8 years ago, 30 years ago. It's coming back around. So I'm just preparing you for this because this is fucking happening, and they're gonna want a new start, a fresh, clean slate with you. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to take time, but they do want to heal what you guys have. You're dealing with somebody who questions a lot and overthinks, and that's where that baby step is coming from. So it's like action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Because right now they need to act. Because every time they try to think something through, it stops them. This is why it's taken so long for this energy to say something or feel safe or, Mingya, I don't fucking know. But it's not your job to make this energy feel safe, I'll tell you that. But this energy does want to come in and lock something down with the Hierophant here. Okay, or this is a lesson learned with the Five of Wands being underneath. So they probably know you're angry. They probably know you're going to say no. So I guess your best advice here is to at least hear this energy out, because it was part of your destiny. Maybe they didn't follow destiny. Maybe you did. Maybe vice versa. Or you can refuse it and choose something else. But I do feel like something's going to come in where it's like you remember, or there's going to be a shift of energy where like it calms you and you're like, okay, let's have a conversation. And I think it's going to happen simultaneously. The energy shift between you two. So the feminine is, like I said, is like it will pay off. Like, so if you forgive this energy, I don't think they really need to forgive you, to be honest with you, which is shitty to say. But if you choose to forgive this energy, I do feel like it's going to benefit you and your future, whether it's with or without this energy. This feels more like a partnership, though, guys. This feels like you're going to be doing something with this energy, working on something together, okay? It doesn't feel like you're going to say your piece and go separate ways. It just, I think the feminine's going to have to be patient because you're dealing with an energy that's slower and not as emotionally mature as you are. So that alone is kind of like, yeah, this whole energy is shifting. I don't know how you want to interpret that, but that's the truth, and spirit wanted that message out there. But obviously they must have something to offer or make you feel reliable or stable, because if you didn't have other factors, you wouldn't be able to push through why they grow, right? And people grow together. You're definitely, you're ascending. If this one chooses to ascend and you guys are ascending together, not everybody ascends at the same time with certain stuff, but I guess the important thing is if you're both ascending, then find some type of common ground to kind of push you guys forward. Because they might want a relationship and you're at the point where it's like you don't even want to work on this. You know what I mean? So I guess just give it time. And it's not like, oh, give this person time to think about what they want. No, this energy already knows what they want. I think the roles are reversed, and now it's going to take you time to think about what you want. And it's just the way it was meant to go down. So they clearly took advantage of you and your energy and your time and your gratitude and who you were to them. They definitely took advantage of a situation. This is why it's so important to heal whatever went down between you guys. And you also have a past life too that needs to be addressed, and that's one of the reasons why you're coming back in 2022 to have this type of communication. That karma needs to be cleaned. It needs to be cleared out. And to me, it's already been cleared out, but a conversation about how something went down needs to be cleared out. I don't know if this person is going to be completely honest with you. I hope so. I just feel like there could be fear or other stuff holding them back. And to me, you're at a place where you don't have time for that. And again, it pulls me to the patience, but I don't think you should have patience for somebody who's not putting enough effort in. But I don't want to go that route, because that's probably the Seven of Wands coming out as an individual and part of the collective and your reader. Get what I'm saying? And it's not really because of like past pain. It's one and done type thing. Like, this has just been a complete fucking shit show, and it's been something that somebody, like, it took them forever to realize something, and by the time it was a realization for them, you were so fucking over it. So I think you're only going to put so much work into something, and I think that's the way it should be. And when you feel more comfortable to put more in, you will. But I think, the two of you with the heart healing, it's almost pulling me like the Two of Cups or Temperance. It's I heard there was a lot of damage that was done that this person has no idea the extent of damage. Yeah, see, death and rebirth. It's the two of you. And they're probably stressing out over it, having a hard time. But Six of Pence is that balance, right? Page of Swords, King of Swords, communication, Hangman opening up, Justice, the Star. It's destined. This energy has to confront you and their feelings. I think, they're probably going to come at you with a little more vulnerability than you expected, which might help you take your guard down a little bit. It just really depends on how this communication goes and what you witness and what you feel in the midst of this interaction. But this is, it was the end of something, but it's also the rebirth of something else. Like I said, you're wrapping up what was karmic between you guys and then going into Dharma if you choose to do it together. It can be beautiful, and there's a reason for this, and shit needs to be talked about. So trust me, this energy is not going to come at you at nothing. But the way they hit you up, see, throat chakra, see, it might not be what you expect, which can be a complete turn off, and you might shut this shit down. So I think if it's meant for you guys to have a conversation, this energy will come at you differently than how it's come at you in the past, because they can't get away with what they used to get away with and how they kept coming at you at nothing. Like empty-handed is what I kept seeing. An empty hand. They can't come at you empty-handed. So they might come at you something a little softer. I don't know. I feel like you might jump down their fucking throat. To me, which would be to be expected, especially if they keep hitting you up the way they were hitting you up. This person doesn't have a fucking shot. So I feel like if anything, Spirit is working on what they need to work on their end, or this person had an epiphany and wants to be in your life, wants you guys to try to come to peace or something with this situation. So I'm guessing this person will come at you differently, because if they didn't, you wouldn't be able to resolve this. So let's just find out about the communication, and then we'll wrap this up. You got the Hangman and Justice. So again, it's that whole sacrifice that I talked about. A sacrifice is being made. There is a perspective shift, and this is the good karma, like I said. So some of you guys, if the both of you can get on the same page and be real and honest and authentic and pure and fucking raw, you'll be able to find common ground here. I guess it just depends. It's almost like a testimony of somebody's free will of what they truly want, right? So let's just throw one of these cards, and I'm going to read from the book. And then we are going to wrap this up. It really is a beautiful read. I wouldn't be waiting for this. It's destined. I wouldn't try to sit in your head and try to think this out or think this through. Because at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't take strategy to make something go right. It takes two people to make something go right. It's, you know what I'm saying? So if you're strategizing or they're strategizing on this end, this can't happen. So I wouldn't be like, it's one thing to know that, this is eventually coming in, and I'm not saying give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying, like, whether you guys end up together or not, Spirit wants you guys to make peace. So that might help you a little bit. I almost feel like Spirit wants to soften the energy a little bit. Do I feel like there can be like an argument and fight and feel like this, that, like you might not get there, or you have this conversation? Yeah, that's a given. That's not something that can be avoided, because you're discussing something that went down karmic that hurt you, and it was frustrating, and this energy was naive, and they were ungrateful that they even had you in their life for a period of time. It's almost like they took advantage of it because of, it doesn't even matter. I mean, it matters, but I don't want to get sidetracked, is basically what Spirit's telling me, because we all know what this is regarding and who this is regarding. And if it's not who, it is somebody else, and it's still something that went down that way. I could take any ex and place them here, guys. That's a given. Any single one of my exes I can take and place here. So can't you? So just know that is coming in, and I guess just have a conversation and try to make peace. Best advice regarding this situation, or what you need to know. Best advice, or what you need to know, whatever comes out. First 2 weeks of August 2022. Trust. Courage at the bottom of the deck. It's a pretty horse. I feel like I need to go see the horses. This card represents trust and loyalty. Throughout history and within different cultures, horses have been associated with the power of death and luck. Whomever and any of you choose to walk aside them or ride them will probably favor the theme of trust. A large and imposing creature. Since its discrimination, the horse has been an essential part of human development in good and ill. Humans have entrusted horses with their lives and fortunes. Horses have loyally walked aside humans in battle storms and over oceans. This card symbolizes an alliance, solidarity, and it's the friendship forged between mutual respect shared between two people. When the horse is trained to be ridden, they are said to be broken. And through this process, the natural animal urges the hide or the flea are replaced with the human rider. One reading of this card could be a warning not to trust so blindly, but to follow your own will, and then you will feel, because you don't want to feel like you got led astray. It is urging you to trust in yourself. So I guess trust that you're going to do the right thing instead of the shadow side, because to me, this takes courage. Because in one hand, this could be a warning not to trust blindly and to take your time, especially when the Seven of Swords came out, right? I don't want to twist this reading, but I don't think it's more of a warning right now, not with patience and everything else that came out and what Spirit's trying to tell me to relay the message. To me, it's not a warning. It's more try to trust yourself in this situation. Be patient on yourself. Because it could be a friendship forged with mutual respect. Like I said, it's a mutual thing. It's a mirroring thing. It's finding common grounds. It's also saying, like, this is why I think courage is at the bottom, because when a horse is trained to be ridden, it's also said they're broken. Through this process, the natural animal urges to hide and flee from the human rider, right? So it's like somebody ran from this because they're like, oh my God, this person can break me. This person can change my world. They can change the way I think, this and that. And it's probably scary to them and overwhelming and feels like they can get swallowed up, but it's not like that. But it's for that person to realize that too, right? When somebody's true and authentic, shit does not work that way. A spiritual does not have a motive behind their what's next for them, and not an ill motive, not a motive where it's like, I'm gonna break you and then that's it, I'm gonna toss you aside, and it's like, no. So I feel like this energy is more trust issues on this energy. I mean, obviously the other energy has trust issues, but obviously you don't trust this person either. It's mutual that neither of you trust each other. That's a fucking given. So that's one thing that you guys probably should work on. Maybe find that common ground, like agree to trust each other, agree to go in on something and trust. And if somebody fucks up, then you know what, they fucked up and it is what it is. They chose a fated life, they went in a different direction. But for some of you, just even come into that common ground where you're telling yourselves, all right, we should both, let's trust this and see what happens, might be beneficial to you guys. Because either way you look at it, it's like you both have to trust, you both have to be broken in again, you both see what I'm saying. Because so whatever went down was, I actually am even hearing horrific. So some of you, to the extent of what you experienced, obviously will be more than others. I think at the end of the day, it still caused the same amount of pain. Everything kind of goes down differently, right? But at the end of the day, pain is pain. So I to me, it's not, to me, you don't have your blinders on. It's just not what it's saying, because it's trust. Okay, it's not a warning card. You don't have any warning cards out here like that. It's, it can be easily sacrificed. I mean, easily sabotaged. I think the woman can easily sabotage this situation just because they've hit their wits end with whatever this energy did and how something went down. So in their eyes, I don't even think you would look at it as sabotage. You don't trust it, But it's protected, and it's meant, whatever went down, you two are meant to find some type of peace. So it's part of your destiny to make peace with this situation. And some of you, I really feel like you can't be bothered. And I honestly feel like you're at the point where this is not going to make it or break it. You're going to ascend no matter what. See what I'm saying? So I know exactly where you guys are at, because I think you don't even feel like it's even necessary to even find that common ground, because you're going to succeed and ascend no matter what. But for some reason, whatever this is, Spirit really does want you to find peace with it, which is going to take you to having a conversation. And then from there, you can make your decisions. I do actually want to throw one of those cards real quick. You got the dice card, as if it's karma, chance, the truth being revealed, hidden facts coming to light, understanding fate, developing intuition, leap of faith, trust your intuition, hidden forces. Okay. Then you have the warrior, self-discipline, righteous success, warrior, spiritual strength, being prepared, self-sacrifice. So I do kind of feel like, it's this, like the roll of a disc, like a roll of a disc, a roll of the dice. This is risky for you. There's no question. You feel like this is risky. Like you would be sacrificing yourself with certain stuff to even consider what this is or what's coming at you. But all will be revealed. A leap of faith. Trust your intuition. Focus, because there's challenges that will be overcome. Sharpen your mind, body, and sword. Right? So, like I said, it's just, it is what you make it. Okay. So for right now, just continue to, live your every day. Do what it is you do. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Don't worry about all this. Clearly it's destined. It's going to come in at some point. When it comes in, you figure it out then. Have a conversation. Just have the conversation. If you don't, and I don't think you're going to want to have the conversation, just have the conversation and find peace with it. It does not mean that, again, you guys will end up in happily ever after, but you never know how something's supposed to go down. So I guess Spirit just really wants you to hear them out, or somebody needs to hear you out, or you got to hear each other out. Okay, so all right, I'm going to keep this video by itself, and I will be back shortly, and we will do Taurus. I love you guys.